What is up? Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Let's get to it. A lot of things to discuss today. I'm going to put the description, all of the topics that we're going to discuss in the description real quick of everything. So that way we can get moving and get talking about all the interesting things happening and going through here. So um, there is, quite frankly, in the NFL, there's a couple different things going on, and I thought it would be important to kind of touch through those and just kind of work through them and see what we're seeing. Now, the first one is Everson Griffin going to the Detroit Lions, and those of you watching us on YouTube, please remember to like, subscribe, as well as comment. All comments are always appreciated and loved. We appreciate it. All the love you guys give us. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So, as we kind of head forward here, the first thing I want to talk about is, once again, Everson Griffin has been traded to the Detroit Lions by the Dallas Cowboys for a conditional 6th-round pick. I'm kind of offended. I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt like Everson Griffin is an absolute stud. He already has 2.5 sacks this year, and quite frankly, he's just such an underrated leader. And it kind of hurts to see a guy like this. That's just doesn't get the time of day. He's not. He's been traded. Now the Lions, I gotta say that now they have Adrian Peterson, they have Everson Griffin. Okay, we get it. You like our players. Leave us alone. Let's do. It's one of those things where, okay, let's do our thing. But it's also one of those things where they also want to bring in some players because they're 3-3 right now. They're playing for something because the Vikings surely aren't at this point. So they brought in Everson Griffin. He's a guy that's obviously going to clearly, like I said, he's going to bring in such a leadership aspect to that team that I think they're missing, especially on that defensive line spot. I think this team is it's a good team. I've got Matt Stafford, Adrian Peterson, DeAndre Swift has been playing out of his mind lately. And it's been a lot of good things to see there from that team. And I even said before the season started that the Lions could be a team to watch out for, especially for how well they've been playing as of late. So, adding Everson Griffin makes their defense somewhat legit, fun to watch. I don't know what that means or how well he'll do in year one with them. Adrian Peterson, I will say this: if he breaks the all-time rushing record with the Lions, if he stays there for 4 or 5 years, he most likely won't. But ultimate slap in the face to the Vikings. I'm sorry, it just is. I don't even want to think about it because of how infuriating it would be. So yeah, as the Vikings head on with their season, they've got to look at playing Detroit twice. So they're going to see Adrian Peterson and Everson Griffin and November 8th, I believe, when the Detroit Lions come to town. But it is what it is, and we're going to see how that goes, especially with the Vikings having a trouble stopping the run. Plus, I know Everson Griffin is licking his chops to be able to go up against Riley Reef. So since he went against him went against him in practice throughout a very long time. So it'll be really interesting to see how this all pans out because, hey, Everson Griffin of the Lions, that's pretty interesting if you ask me. So next thing here is Dez Bryant is back. He is now on the Ravens practice squad, I believe, and we've seen this a couple times now. We saw it with the Seahawks when they signed Damon Snacks Harrison. I think seeing these players on the practice squad is something that you're probably going to see just for a little while because of how these guys just. It's one thing to be able to bring in a talented player. It's another thing to be able to maybe bring in a guy that was talented back in the day and now he's getting another shot with the team. Clearly, the Ravens are just amazing at bringing in talent because they do it every year, and it's starting to get a little unfair. But I mean, that is how it goes. But at the same time, it's also really fun to see. I think if just imagine if Dez Bryant is even close to being a shell of himself, what he could provide for that Ravens offense, I think that could really do wonders. Now, I don't know necessarily what he actually will do, but we'll have to see. I think there's a lot of excitement coming around who he is as a player, and plus, I've always liked Dez Bryant. I think he's going to really do wonders there in Dallas. It's going to be really fun to watch. Hopefully, it pans out. He gets actually activated to 53. We see him play because he's still a very talented player, in my opinion. He can do a lot of different things in this NFL. Yeah, he's just a great player. He deserves a shot to be able to get back into this game. Number 3, Dalvin Cook returning to practice for the Vikings. This isn't necessarily a shock because, I mean, this man's still playing for a contract. He's still, even though the team is 1-5 right now, he's still playing for, bragging rights. Plus, he wants to get another 1,000-yard season, which I agree with. I think he needs to be able to do that in order to kind of I mean, to what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, to really can't even really think this morning. I'm sorry. To justify that contract, I mean, the new contract extension that he signed with the Vikings in the offseason, I think he really needs to go out and really show the Vikings that he can stay healthy for an entire season, especially because of how many injury concerns he's had over the years. And as he continues to progress as being a Viking and as a running back in the NFL, he needs to find something, needs to find some continuity, some to be able to stay healthy and plus be able to provide a lot for this Vikings offense. He's still, when he's healthy, he's clearly one of the best running backs in the NFL. Not the best. Sorry, that's my laundry. Um, Clearly one of the best running backs in the entire NFL when he's healthy. And uh, him returning to practice, it does kind of shore up the Vikings' identity as they go move forward here. It is going to be something fun to watch because it is Dalvin Cook. He is a menace when it comes to playing and that outside run zone scheme. There's a lot of different things you got to be excited about if you're a Vikings fan. He's just going to bring it. And I mean, Alexander Madison, he held down the fort ish. I mean, it really wasn't his fault. Offensive line play, as far as run blocking, hasn't been anything to write home about. But it'll be fun to see how Dalvin, because of all of just the type of player he is. And plus, I think that this offensive line is going to get starting to move, which we're actually going to get into right now. Here's some quick fixes, by the way, for the Vikings offensive line. It's no secret that for quite a while, the Vikings offensive line has almost been a laughingstock among fans in the NFL. We've had to deal with guys like TJ Clemmings. Phil Lodeholt was actually pretty good, so I'm not even gonna go there. But he was pretty good. I like Phil Lodeholt. But there were a lot of different offensive linemen through the years. Guys like Mike Remmers, I liked Joe Berger, and just John Sullivan. There were some guys in there, even John Fusco. I mean, just through the years, we had to deal with Rick Spielman not putting anything into the offensive line, and it was frustrating. And it's just it's one of those things where now that Rick Spielman is finally starting to, in these last couple of drafts, obviously he drafted Pat Elflein, and I believe the 2017 NFL draft, was it the 27? No, yeah, it was 2017 NFL draft, third overall. Then they went 2018. They went and got Brian O'Neill in the second round, and then 2019 they got Garrett Bradbury, the center out of North Carolina, and then this year they got Ezra Cleveland, who, by the way, is not a right guard. Stop playing him as if he's a right guard. Here's some quick fixes to kind of help up with this offensive line. Stop playing Ezra Cleveland at right guard. He's clearly not that. He's a left tackle. Find a way to trade Riley Reef if you can, because clearly that's going to be your only way out of here. And also, let's maybe try seeing what Kyle Hinton can do. This guy, I mean, 7th pick out of Washburn, the Ichabods. It might not be a better mascot than the Ichabods. I'm just saying. I mean, come on, the Ichabod Cranes. Nobody watched that show growing up. Okay, fine. Anyway, this guy's just such a great athlete. I mean, what? I'm going to bring up his measurables here, but I mean, you just saw a guy, especially if you look at his combine now, it is a D2, did go to a D2 school. But in terms of being an athlete, this guy is the real deal. Watch his highlights. He just bodies people. Just the entire thing is just him basically ending people's careers because he's mean, he's big, he's strong. And he's just a lot of fun to watch because of just the type of player he is. He's a finisher. He played left tackle at Washburn. He's going to definitely slide into guard or into center in the NFL. And quite frankly, the Vikings are in a spot where, okay, you're 1-5 players. Obviously, guys like James Lynch should get a shot. There's some different guys, even guys like Jordan Brailford. And just to name a couple that really deserve a shot here. Ezra Cleveland deserves a shot to start at left tackle. There's just a lot in terms of what this team is bringing to the table. They all just deserve a shot here. Kyle Hinton, one of those guys that definitely is. It's almost as if they're afraid to play him. Then why? Again, I just don't understand why they would draft him if they're not going to give him a shot. 6'2", 295, 22 years old. This guy, he's just the real deal, and he deserves a shot. With the Vikings practice squad, or excuse me, to be on the 53, because what could it possibly hurt? Like, seriously, we've dealt with Pat Elflein. We've dealt with Ezra Cleveland, who actually wasn't awful in his debut. I mean, it's what you would expect from a guy that had never played guard before. And then, bringing in a guy like Drew Samia, who a lot of us thought, including myself, that he would be just a road grader and just taking care of business. But just hasn't panned out for whatever reason. So give Kyle Hinton a shot. What could it possibly hurt? Oh, and by the way, if you don't like what you see in Dakota Dozier, can we please put Oli Udoh in at either guard spot? I mean, seriously, I have been loving. I have actually really liked what I saw from Oli Udoh, even though he's more of a backup right tackle. He's just a great player. I think that. I mean, he played well. He put up a lot of great tape. in the Week 17 loss against the Bears last year. He just deserves a shot. He's a big guy. I'll bring up his measurables too, just to prove a point, because this guy, he's a player. He's just every bit of a mauler. He takes care of business, and when it comes down to it, he's just a great. He's a good player, and I think he deserves a shot in the NFL here. But Oli Udo, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, point is, this is, oh yeah, here you go. 6'6", 6'6" at offensive guard. Come on, give this man a shot here. Sorry, I couldn't find him on there. 6'6", 325 in his second year from Elon. Only 23 years old. Got to give this guy a shot. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that I don't think will get pushed around. It's going to be Uli Udo. 6'6", 325. Once again, I repeat that so you guys get that through your heads, how big this dude is. And if you watch him go against Khalil Mack last year, he did some great things, even though Khalil Mack was going on with an injury. Sorry, Brant. But I saw some good things from him last year that honestly, it could excite a lot of people. And it could be worth exploring. I mean, it's one of those things where if it's broke, you just keep finding solutions until it works. And if at the end of the day we have to end up putting Bad Elfline back on the field, I mean, technically he's not worse than Drew Samia or Ezra Cleveland for that matter. So what could it hurt? I don't know. I don't know. It's just rough. The Vikings need to figure out these guard spots. I mean, finally, the center looks to be like the guy we've been looking for. Riley Reef is playing at a great level, even though the Vikings should trade him and let his Cleveland play. Maybe, I don't know. And then obviously Brian O'Neill is playing at a great level too. So we've got 3 of the spots figured out. Can we just figure out these 2 guard spots and move on, please, with this offensive line issues, and then maybe get a couple of swing guys that can play if absolutely necessary. All right, the number 5 here. Last thing. The Texans have closed their facility after one player has tested positive, not players. After one player, I'm going to edit that real quick. I've got a report here from ESPN after one player, Colton. All right, after one player has tested positive, same post. Okay. Let's see here from ESPN's Sarah Barshop. That's nice. The Texans have closed their facility after a player tested positive for COVID-19. The team announced Wednesday. Now it's the Texans' bye week, but the facility is closed for a deep cleaning, and the team is performing contact tracing, not contract tracing. Let's see here. According to yeah, okay, whatever. So this is the first positive test for the Texans since the start of this training camp. Houston hosted Green Bay on Sunday. So not great there. We're going to have to kind of see where this leads to. And also, the NFL's been dealing with a lot of false positives lately. So I don't know. We'll have to see what actually comes about this, whether there could be some good things, or excuse me, nothing good could come of this, but there could be some bad things potentially that, it could lead to further exposures among teams that really need to keep an eye out for this. And hopefully everybody gets home safe and is okay. In fact, hopefully it's actually, in fact, a false positive, because I just don't want to wish this on anybody. And plus, the NFL's dealt with that quite a bit this year, even though I will admit the response has been pretty impressive. Not nearly as many positive tests as health professionals thought, but still. And coaches aren't putting up with it, even though some of them have got fined for not wearing masks on the sideline. There's a lot of coaches that aren't putting up with it, that are making players go home and take care of business, and that are making players, follow the rules according to the CDC. So there's a lot of great things that I'm seeing here. Hopefully, this Texans thing gets figured out really quickly. And it's one of those things where the Green Bay Packers, who play the Vikings in 2 weeks, hopefully, again, nothing comes about it, because this could be something that could spread quickly, because we know the effects of COVID that it has on everybody. So as the Vikings, actually, they go to play the Vikings this week. So, I mean, that's, if you think about it, that could really affect the Vikings. So that's next week is the Lions, excuse me. So this potentially could affect the Vikings, game time, and plus a lot of other things around the NFL too. So I'll have to see there what that brings. But there's 5 things that I found pretty interesting this morning. There's obviously we're still moving forward here. Let me know what you guys think about the lives, what we can do to enhance the experience, and also answer any questions you guys might have. Make sure those of you, once again, that are watching on Facebook, YouTube, like the Facebook page on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment. Always welcome. We guys appreciate everything you guys do. You guys make it a lot of fun. Looks like here, yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Have a great day. It's hump day. Get the day done. Do your thing. Have some fun. Let's finish this week.